Welcome once again to your update from the city of New Hope. Mayor Kathi Hemken with us again to bring us up to date on things happening in the city. Welcome, Mayor. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. I'm waiting for the snow.
Yes, we see the snowy background there, and we'll talk more about the pending snow here as we record this on the Tuesday. Let's get to some other topics happening in the city. Let's begin with the Joint Airport Zoning Board. We've been talking about this process. Give us an update, and the date of the actual event is coming up very soon.
Well, they have a draft of what they've decided, and that you can go to our city hall or any city hall and look at it. It's at the front desk. On the 23rd of February, starting at 4:30, they'll be at the Crystal Community Center, and you can see a big layout of that. Now, I'm sure that it's going to impact some of the businesses in New Hope, even though we don't touch the airport, but because we're close, it'll have some effect on the height of those businesses. So just if you're interested, that's where to go on the 23rd.
Very good. Again, more information on the city's website. Let's talk just a moment about the state of the city, something that a lot of people expect to see in the springtime for various cities, and you are in the works of putting something together.
Well, we are. It's always nice to kind of brag about what's been going on in the city. And we also talk about what's going to happen in the city. So what'll happen this year is the interim city manager and I will do that presentation with you, probably at the studio, and then CCX will broadcast that out. So once we have that done, where we've done that interview, we'll have some times that people can see that.
Excellent. And we'll make it available on the city's Facebook and website as well. So you'll have lots of places to look at that. Something that's a partnership through the county is called Elevate Hennepin. It has changed names. Remind us a little bit about this program and what the great benefit is for people in the city of New Hope.
Well, we're working with Hennepin County, and they're the ones that are actually powering this. And so Elevate Hennepin is the whole idea behind that is that small businesses and local entrepreneurs can get in touch with a trusted resource and experts, and it's no cost to them. So if you need to go to somebody and what am I supposed to be doing as a small business, this Elevate Hennepin could help you with that. And you'll have the website on the screen for them.
Yep, you see it right there, elevatehennepin.org. You can find out much more about how you might be able to help out as a business owner or entrepreneur. Let's talk a little bit about Scattered Site over at 42nd and Boone. They're looking at that property, getting ready to do some work, and found that a pole might need to be moved.
Yes. Well, that was the old treehouse property. And so when we got that all tore down and got the land all figured out, we figured out that there was a utility pole sitting right in the middle of the north lot. So they're going to have to move that pole 16 feet to the north. So it's be right on the property line. Otherwise, the driveway was going to have to be re-skewed. They just need to move the pole. So again, that's just one more thing. But of course, when it's snowy like this, they're not going to start excavating anyway. So this is a good time to do that. And just another update at 5802 Boone. That's that boarded up house. That's the second one up from Bass Lake Road. We're still waiting on the bank to tell us how much. We gave them a list of things that needed to be done to the house, which was very extensive. I'm guessing they're going to come back and say, we're not going to do that. We're just going to sell you the house. We're waiting for a price from the bank on the house. I'm guessing nobody else is going to buy that because it's going to have to come down.
All right, we'll keep you up to date on those properties. Let's move to the business networking group, and March 1st is the day to remember at a great location where people can network and find out more. Tell us more about it.
It's going to be at St. Therese. I suggest you go not into the nursing home part, but you go into the resident part. So when the parking is really funny there, but anyway, that's where it's going to be at 2 o'clock, and it's being hosted by St. Therese. And the next one is the 5th of April, and that'll be at 8:30. And we're looking for somebody to sponsor that. Okay. Now, if you have a business that doesn't have a room to sponsor a group of 20, that you can always have it at City Hall. Just call Brandon Bell at City Hall, and he'll help you through that. But we're looking for a sponsor for that April 5th meeting.
All right, information about that on the city's website, newhopemn.gov. To the police department we go. A few updates to pass along here. And as always, the officers are busy handing out meals.
Well, they're busy and we're having fun too. So of course they did the Meals on Wheels like they've always done. We were invited to, before I talk about that, on Wednesday, the 15th of February was Officer Appreciation Day for the school resource officers. And Officers Barden and Jansen really deserve a special thank you. They're the two officers at Cooper High School. So thanks to them for the great job they do on that. Well, we were invited to a soul food cookout at
Okay.
Broadway Village, and that's just part of the police being out in the community. So the food was fabulous, by the way. I ate some stuff that I had never tasted before, which was kind of fun. Just a lot of people, and some of our cops stopped by to have dinner with them too. And then one of the things that happened was we had a cook-off, a chili cook-off at the city, and
Right.
Officer Callio actually won with his chicken chili.
How
And so
about
he
that?
got the trophy, which consists of a ladle and a jar of chili powder. So that's kind of a fun thing. And then
What-
one last thing, the Crime
Mhm.
Prevention Fund
Yeah.
board. There's this board that meets about 4 times a year. What they do is they raise money and collect funds. They're the ones that give some money to like the bike rodeo to buy the bikes, National Night Out, just things that are in the community. So if you're interested in donating to that, a small check to the Crime Prevention Fund would be really appreciated.
All right, we talked earlier about the snow. Let's go to that as we are waiting here on this Tuesday for the big snow on Wednesday and Thursday, and your public works staff will be ready for about anything. And tell us a little bit about their mission to clear the streets. It could be a lot of work.
A lot of work. Right now, they're planning to bring them in at 4 in the morning. They will plow what's there, but it's going to be continuing snowing. So they're probably going to have to plow twice. And I'm guessing what they'll do is they'll plow, they'll go home and take a nap, and they'll come back and plow again. So anytime there's over 2 inches of snow in the street, you cannot park on the street. And with all this snow, it really makes it difficult for the plows if you're on the street. So they'll probably be either ticketing or towing, or worse yet, plow you in. So if you can put it in your driveway, put those cars in the driveway or put them somewhere else so they don't get plowed in. And even though they've plowed once, keep in mind that they're probably going to do it again.
Right, makes
Now,
sense.
the other thing is the sidewalks.
Mhm.
The sidewalks that are in front of the public buildings, like City Hall and the parks, the city plows those. But if you're a business or a homeowner or an apartment, it's up to the owner to plow in front of your facility. And so that needs to be done because there's a lot of people that depend on that walkway to get through. And you have 12 hours to get that snow removed off the walkway. So please get out there and do that if you can.
All right, something in public works that gets us looking a little bit ahead is the Meadow Lake Management Plan. So we're thinking about water in lakes, which is a nice thought right now. Tell us a little bit about this ongoing project and what they're looking to do in the coming months.
So Shingle Creek Watershed is part of the watershed that Meadow Lake is in. And if you remember right, we drained Meadow Lake a couple of years ago to get rid of the flathead minnows that were in the lake. We did do that and we got rid of the minnows, saved all the turtles. The problem was it didn't fill up as nice as we wanted it to, and the cattails kind of started to take over. Now they tell me that if the water comes back, and with all the snow it probably will, that the cattails will recede back to the shoreline like they should. So we're working with this watershed to see what we can do about the weeds. So they're planning an alum treatment, and they're also talking to the DNR to see what they can do about that. I gotta read what this thing is that they're trying to do. The curly leaf pondweed herbicide treatment. That's a mouthful. So those things will be applied in the spring. When the water is really shallow, that's pondweed is just terrible. And just another note, if you go fishing, you have a minnow bucket, don't dump your minnow bucket in the lake. It really, because those fish don't have any predators and they just expand like crazy. They took out tens of thousands of these little dead fish from the drawdown. So put those minnows somewhere else. I don't
Good advice.
Maybe in your garden.
There we go. Let's head to Park and Rec and talk about some of the things that are going on. The first is the dance program, a big program within the city, and they have a lot going on right now.
Well, their spring dance session has started and the kids are starting to practice, but then they meet with the parents because they need to talk about recitals and rehearsals and pictures and all that other stuff that the parents get involved in. And as soon as I know when the recital is, it's usually around Mother's Day. If you've never been to one, they're really cute to watch.
Let's hop back outdoors and talk a little bit about the snow that is coming as it relates to rinks. So the rinks officially, I understand, have closed, but they were hoping to keep things open just a little bit longer, but that plan may be foiled by the snow.
Well, what closed was the warming houses.
Okay.
So those will be
Right.
closed. In some cases, the kids actually shovel the snow off. We won't clear that snow until all of the other snow is cleared, and I'm guessing this is not going to happen. So if you want to skate on those rinks and they're in decent shape, you're gonna have to clear the snow off yourself, I think, because I don't think we're gonna be able to get that cleared off for at least a week or so. They'd
Makes sense.
indicated they would leave the lights on for a few days after they shut the warming houses if the ice was good. But I don't know that they even can get anywhere near the ice to see if it is good. So
Right.
hard to tell whether they're gonna be able to leave that on or not.
All
And
right.
one thing you should know with all this snow is the snowman contest. You have until the 31st of March. I did check and see what kind of snow we're getting, and they said it's not the wet kind, it's gonna be light and fluffy. It's kind of hard to make a snowman with light and fluffy. However, you can make a snow structure with light and fluffy pretty
Okay.
well. One more thing about those snow plows, they're gonna be piling big piles of snow. Don't let your kids play in the piles of snow. It's not safe. And if they, for one thing, we don't know what else is in that pile of snow. And the snow plows can't see the kids.
Makes
So
sense.
just keep the kids off those, even though it's really, really tempting to go play on those. It's not a safe place to play.
Let's talk seasonal job opportunities within the city. Looking ahead again to spring and summer, you have lots of opportunities. Give us a list of some of the variety of things that you need people to do and how they get involved.
Well, we hire a lot of summer staff, and the Park and Rec department, of course, is looking for playground leaders and umpires, adult umpires, field attendants, that kind of stuff. So they can go onto the website under jobs and sign up for one of those jobs. We're also recruiting for the pool at the moment. We haven't started recruiting for the golf course yet, but we're recruiting for the pool. So any one of those jobs, and these are summer, spring and summer jobs, and most of them are part-time.
Let's talk about the golf course. They are busy now. No golf happening, but a lot happening inside and also some things that might be coming out in the mail and email. What's happening now with golf?
Well, when they're busy with the golf course, they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're mowing grass, they're digging up plants. A lot of times that equipment just gets put in the shed, in the shop, and it gets a little messy toward the end of the season. So when winter comes, they take that stuff out, they clean the shop out, they put stuff back where it's supposed to be, they do some organizing, and that's what they're doing now. And they're also sharpening the blades of the mowers and the knives and the things that they use in the golf course. The clubhouse is still have a few rentals available.
Okay.
Good place to have a baby shower, a St. Patrick's Day party, just about anything, even a wedding, a small wedding. The golf course will hold about 44 people quite comfortably. You can bring your own food in. So it's a good time to call and arrange that. Also, we get really filled up with graduation parties. So you've kind of got to be thinking about that graduation party, and that's a place to have it. It can be inside or outside. They seem to like the outside better because they can have more people out there and they just kind of wander around. But it's a good time to do that.
All
So the folks that golfed on leagues, they should be getting their applications probably this week in the mail. It'll tell you the times and the dates you can start to sign up for the league for this coming season. Now, after that's done, there's another time where people who aren't on leagues or weren't on leagues last year can sign up. And what they do is they fill those into the slots, or the teams where there's only 3, they might put an extra person in there. So if you're interested in playing, and this is a good time to get signed up. You can also buy your season passes when you go in early to sign up.
All right, a lot happening there. Again, city's website, newhopemn.gov. You can find out all about the golf opportunities and also find out about opportunities at the ice arena. But it sounds like, Mayor, things are winding down on the high school level at the arena.
Well, they are. The boys and girls high school games are done, and they're not in the tournaments, and they're not playing any of those tournaments. But we've got a lot of adults that rent ice, and just various groups that want to practice up there. And of course, the youth hockey is there practicing. but they don't practice on Friday nights and on Sundays. So open skating will be pretty available. Friday nights it's 6:30 to 8, Sundays it's 2 to 4. And you do have to call and make sure that they know you're coming, because they do limit to how many people can be in there. You can rent skates, you can get your skates sharpened, just a nice family outing in the middle of a Sunday afternoon, now that the football season is just about over.
There we go. Here's another nice outing. March 18th at the Ice Arena. A big show is going on. This annual event is always a favorite.
Well, we have a skate school where they're mostly little kids. I asked her today if they got big kids, my size, who don't know how to skate. And she said yes. Oh dear, I was afraid she'd say that. But anyway, so these kids that will have a program on the 18th of March, starts at noon, lasts about an hour, it's free. It's on the South Rink, and you don't have to sign up, you just come and watch, and they're really, really cute, especially those little ones.
Yeah.
They're just adorable. And some of these kids I've watched since they were 4, and now they're like 18. And watching the progression of them skating has really been fun for me.
Yeah, stop by and enjoy that show if you can. And here's a sneak peek ahead to the summertime. People may have been wondering, the Off-Broadway musical theater, what is the show for this year? We have it right here for you, Mayor. What's coming up and when?
They're going to do The Sound of Music. It's going to be a little different this year because they're going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 4 days in a row, 2 weekends in a row. And that'll be the 19th of July to the 29th of July. The play starts at 8 o'clock. And if you remember right, the bleachers are gone. So you bring a chair or a blanket to sit on. It holds an awful lot of people in that area that way. And they're asking for a small donation. I don't know what, I think it was $4 last year. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's just always fun to be out there under the stars.
Yeah. Great show. All right. More information to come as we head into the spring and the summer. Human resources. Let's update residents on a few positions that the city is in process of filling. Tell us about those, Mayor.
Well, we wanted a evidence technician. What that is the police department gets a lot of stuff in from a crime, and we need to categorize it and put it so we can find it again. Well, we haven't had an evidence technician. The police officers have been doing that. That takes a lot of their time, and this will relieve the officers of that duty. And then this technician will actually put it where it's supposed to go and be able to retrieve it again. So we got 68 applicants for the job, and 7 of them are going to be interviewed this Friday. So we'll have a technician by the end of the next week, I would guess.
Fantastic. And then we also have a police officer position that's in process. Tell us about that.
Well, that closed at noon on Tuesday, the 21st.
Okay.
And they have, last I heard, they had 10 applicants. So again, they'll score those. They'll make sure that they're qualified. And if they are, then they will start interviewing those applicants. So we should have a new police officer real soon.
All right, as we wrap up today, a few final notes to pass along. The first is In Motion is always a favorite of ours to find out things to do in the area, and hopefully yours as well. And Mayor, it sounds like that is coming out very soon.
Well, the spring and summer one went to the printer last week.
Very good.
You should be seeing that the first week of March in your mailbox. Do not throw it away. There's really good stuff in there. Now, the kids will be going on spring break, so they should be able to look in their winter In Motion. There's some programs that'll be going on for spring break, and also in this new spring one that's coming out. And just a note to parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles who might want to help those kids with some of the cost. They can always get a gift certificate, and those gift certificates can be used for some of these programs that come up. The other thing I want to mention is we have money at the city to help people to get into some of these sports programs that maybe they can't afford. All they need to do is go into City Hall with some proof of residency and a picture ID, and you'll get some help. Typically what happens is the city pays half, and then the person pays the other half. But please use the program if you need to. We want those kids to be kept busy this summer.
All right, final note to pass along, something you may not be that familiar with. It's the Bassett Creek Watershed Management Commission, something that is very active in the area. And they have an event coming up, Mayor, that you wanted to pass along in case people are interested in learning more.
Well, this is kind of, it's a long name, but
Mhm.
that's the creek that goes through most of the southern part of New Hope. So they will be having a meeting on the 28th of February from 4 to 7 at the Golden Valley Library. And what they'll do is they'll lay out the whole Shingle Creek watershed, and you'll just be able to look at it. What they're looking for is some stuff maybe that you would like to see happen on that creek, or some places that need some help that maybe they haven't identified, or just want to see where the creek is, and you're gonna take a canoe and go canoeing down the creek. So if
Mhm.
you're interested, the Golden Valley Library on the 28th.
All right, then that is an open house type of format, again, from 4 to 7. So you can stop by and look in for a little bit and then go to McDonald's next door and get your dinner. All right,
Yep.
that's your wrap up from the city of New Hope today. And again, go to the city's website, newhopemn.gov, to find out more about things that are coming up in the city and some of the things we maybe mentioned today. Speaking of things coming up, we're going to take a look at a calendar of events, list some of the things that you might want to get involved in the coming weeks. Mayor, thanks once again for your time. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon.
And thanks, Dave. Bye-bye.
Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.